Okay. Well, we're just 2 3/4 K in, but according to the signs we've run 2 of the 3 hours. There was only an hour left to do, so the 3-hour run should end up being about an hour and a half for me, which is, well, 3-hour walk should end up being a sort of 1.5 hour run, but there's a lot of it is walking as fast as you can up the hills, because it's pretty steep. There's quite a few chains on just straight, kind of fairly vertical rock and roots, so it is pretty steep. Did read in the bump that it's a extremely knotty and rooty path, and they're not kidding. It's very dense old bush, which is some of my favourite kind of bush, if I'm honest. And but yeah, always a catchy toe issue, so I've got to be very wary. But it's fabulous, especially with these little, a lot of it's been flattish, mildly undulating like this, which is just great. But we've descended quite a bit, so I suspect there's a bit more of a steep incline before we get right to the summit, past a group of 4 or 5 and one old boy taking a rest. I think there's probably half a dozen cars in the car park. Most of them had walked down the hill to the beach rather than up to the summit. There's a lookout point that I've gone past. I'll do it on the way back. But yeah, it's difficult to run much of this. But I think I've woken up now. I mean, it's an hour and a half on the bike from to Kawata, which is where I was camped up for the night, which is about 50k north of Hamilton. But this is good. Just planning out my day. I've stayed at the campsite. There aren't too many camping options around here in Raglan, or not that I've looked at or fancied particularly. But the one I've got was alright last time. And that's just a big old field basically. There's not much there, so there's not much there, but I can run or walk into town. The forest is getting me now. Have a beer and some food and walk back. I've eaten the last of last night's tea for my breakfast. Managed to leave my breakfast in the fridge at work. There's always something that never quite makes it with me, but doesn't matter what it is, you always get through. Yeah, opted for the trail shoes, which is a definitely wise idea. I tend to go with the running shoes in the dry, but on this sort of terrain it's That's not the right call. Oh yeah, it's warming up now. And there's the view. Oh, that's the beach. I think I camped somewhere around there, and I can walk along the beach and into Raglan, which is that little bit there. And it's got these sort of meandering inlets and bays and out to the sea. And that's the Mt Karioi, all of that region. I think here Raglan is just outside the Mt Karioi. I think that's the Mt Karioi and up almost back into the Auckland border. It pretty much catches Miranda and up on the Thames Peninsula, Thames Bay there. So it's quite a big area, and one that I don't know really well, so there's a few more areas to explore in the Mt Karioi. Okay, but you get the idea. It's ancient, knotty, and well, it's not that old actually. I guess there's some old trees. That's a big old tree, but a lot of these are quite young, but it's well marked, pretty well tramped out. So, good track really. I think you'd walk it in 3 hours probably without too much of a problem, but then I haven't got to the top yet, so I should be careful what I say. As we say, the mountain's always got a way of making a monkey out of you. Okay. Might be another little view just up here. It opens up a bit, but possibly not now. Okay. Oh, in places the cicadas are absolutely deafening. Right.